So let's get into the things that you're focusing on during the daytime, but most people forget their dreams. After that, I get out of bed and I make the bed, okay? And now this is something that is obvious that most of you do, but if you don't do it, take 2 minutes and make your bed, because that's a success habit, right? If we're talking about positive momentum, the science of momentum, getting things done, checking things off, doing it with excellence, then make your bed. It's worth the 1 or 2 minutes, because again, how you do anything is how you do everything. And to have a good check mark on something like making your bed is very powerful, because it teaches you to be able to do something really well and excellence like they do in the military. And the other benefit is when you come back at the end of the day, you come back to success. You come back to your bed already made. After that, what I'll do is I'll go into the kitchen and I'll have a tall glass of water, because we use a lot of water and most of us are very dehydrated at night. I'll take my supplements there. I take my probiotics, which is the big one, because your gut is your second brain. We talk about quick brain, being your brain in your head, but you also have incredible amount of nerve cells in your gut. And so I want to make sure that's being fed and healthy, so I take my probiotics. Then what I do is I do my breathing, right? I'm thinking about the things I'm focusing on here. I'm thinking about excellence. I'm thinking about hydration. I'm thinking about oxygen. Whatever your breathing technique is, I focus on breathing. So whether it's box breathing or alpha breathing, whether it's Wim Hof's method, I do a breathing technique because I want to fully oxygenate my body and my brain, which is obviously part of my body also as well. And maybe we could do another episode dedicated towards that. I do my meditation in the morning and also later in the afternoon or evening, sometimes before I go to bed, but I always do an early morning meditation. I do it for about 20 minutes. Mindfulness is so important, so I want to have a clear mind as I enter the day, and so meditation puts me in that space. 15, 20 minutes. Some of you use Headspace app. Some of you use the Muse device, use some kind of technology. I meditate then. From there, I do 1 or 2 minutes of just movement. And this could be different. It could be calisthenics, it could be burpees, but I just want to get into my body after I meditate. And so I move my body pretty intensely for a couple minutes. And if I'm in a hotel room, maybe I'm just doing jumping jacks, but I'm doing crunches for 2 minutes straight. I'm just waking my body. That is not my exercise for the day. It's just for me to get my heart rate beating and getting some movement in my body. From there, I take a shower, and it's a cold shower. And I do believe in cold therapy. It works for me. It helps me to reset my nervous system. Ice baths are very powerful because it helps. Like if you hit your knee, you put ice on it to reduce swelling and inflammation. Cold therapy is a very powerful way of resetting your nervous system and reducing inflammation. So I take a cold shower. When I get out, I go through my normal routine, right, of shaving and brushing my teeth, all that good stuff. Then I make a tea, and my favorite tea is like a brain tea. It's a combination of gotu kola, ginkgo, lion's mane, some MCT oil, and some other gems. As I go through it, I sip my tea, and that's where I write my journal. And I'm a big believer in journaling. I've been doing it since I've been in college, and I feel like some of the most amazing thinkers of our time and in history, they journal and they keep diaries. I mean, you think about Edison, Einstein, Da Vinci. Their journals are priceless, right? From there, right from journaling, since I'm writing, I like writing. There's a lot of studies saying that handwriting is better than actually typing. Then, since I'm writing already, I'm going to my to-do list. And most of us have an ongoing to-do list of things that we need to get done. For me, the big thing is I just want to be able to accomplish, as a total win, 3 things for work and 3 things personally. And they don't have to be all epic big things, but I just feel like that if I could get 3 of my work goals done on my to-do list and 3 of my personal things to do, then it's been a great day. And it's kind of like my friend Clay Hebert talks about a champagne moment. It's like your champagne moment when you're looking back at the end of the day saying, yes, today was a great day. Today I crushed it. Today I won. And in addition to my to-do list, I also have a to feel list, because I feel like a lot of who we are is our states and emotions. And I think I don't want it to be just where I happen to feel a certain way by accident. It's by its design. It's the metaphor I always talk about, the difference between a thermometer and a thermostat. A thermometer reacts to the environment. And I feel like sometimes if I act like a thermometer, I'm just going to react to everything that's going on in the world, and I just might have some good positive states, as opposed to being a thermostat where I set in advance a standard, a goal, for my to feel list, certain feelings I want to feel throughout the day, so I can design it that way. To feel love, to feel curious, to feel bewilderment, right? Connection, gratitude. I also have, besides a to-do list and a to-feel list, I also look at my to-be list. Like, who do I want to be today? And, do I want to be a good partner? Do I want to be a good friend and a good leader, a good teacher, a good coach? I feel into what I want to be that day. Because it's not just about, we're not, it's kind of cliche, but there's a truth to it. We're not human doings, right? We're human beings. So who do I want to be today? From there, if I have time, I'll make time for the things that are most important, is I read. I read for about 20, 30 minutes. So after I do my reading, then I go and I make my brain smoothie, brain berries, which are your blueberries and avocado and your leafy vegetables and water and everything. And when I'm done with that smoothie, I go through my brain training in one of our quick learning online programs at quicklearning.com. We have an online speed reading course, online memory course, thinking course, academic success course. That's where I do my brain training. And I like to do it in the morning because I want to jumpstart my brain, my mind, if you will, and also my body. And that's the goal for me, that focusing in the morning. So after I do certain brain trainings, which are all in our programs, then I really start my day.
Listen to me. Once you realize who you are, you stop operating in desperation. You stop saying yes to stuff you ain't supposed to be saying yes to. So here's my big problem with a lot of y'all, is your belief system is off. Like, everybody can see how sweet you are. People are commenting on, you could do this and you could do that, and you the only one ain't caught up with it yet. Gee, why you always on beast mode? I'm shocked more people are on beast mode. There are people who living from check to check and they comfortable. It's the weirdest thing to me. I'm like, boo, you broke. And you broke on several levels. We're not talking about Sally Mae. You still owe your grandma. I'm talking about you need to cash your grandma out. Listen to me, unless you number one in your industry, you shouldn't be chilling. And if you number one in your industry, you got enough common sense to know you better not be chilling. Every single day of my life, I feel like giving 100%. Every single day. Somebody said yesterday, E.T., you gave 120. What you gonna do tomorrow? I said, I don't know. Give 140. I don't know, but I don't have days where I don't feel like it. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. My son's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. There's nothing wrong with the opportunity. You're not giving 120. You're giving 70. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you want what these people who've given sweat, who's given blood, who's given tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. The Bible says he was in a pig pen, and he came to himself, and he went home. Get your butt up. You are a royal priesthood. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. You got all the stuff. You got it all. But you will not outwork me, because your height has nothing to do with my work ethic. Your face has nothing to do with my work ethic. Your two-parent background has nothing to do with my work ethic. You will not outwork me. On your jet, you will not outwork me. In your Bentley, you will not outwork me. You will not outwork me. Get up. Act like you playing basketball. Act like you playing football. Compete. That's what bothers me. Many of y'all are not competing. I need effort. Compete. Go to class. I just left for school telling these kids, act like you playing football. Go in that doggone classroom. Compete. Many of you have lost your competitive edge. Get your competitive edge back. I'm not against no other motivational speaker. I'm just competitive. Some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against a trial, every time you run up against a tribulation, you stop and you cut off beast mode. And what I'm here to tell you is, if you tell that thing, I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I ain't leaving. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this opportunity until I get it. You don't punish yourself. Somebody say, E, you losing weight. I punish myself. I don't eat meat no more. That's a punishment. eat meat, I didn't look like this. I had to give something up to go up. What do you give up? When you don't make the 203 a day, do you not watch TV? That's your problem. You getting to watch TV and not make money and still survive. You got to hear what I'm saying. The reason why you broke is because you getting a reward and you ain't working. I'm not scared that some kid's going to take my spot. If he does, he's going to have to do it with sweat. He's going to have to do it with tears. He's going to have to do it with blood. He is going to have to get up at 2:30 in the morning. If he can get up every day at 2:30, he deserves to take my spot. Some people are taking your spot and they shouldn't take it, but because you're average, it's easy to take your spot. It's easy. It's easy to get to the place before you get there. It's easy to take that client before you get to him. It's easy. It's easy to beat you. Why? You average. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. There's nothing that can stop me because my motives are pure. And the purer your motives are, that you guarantee yourself success. When you're doing stuff for yourself, you can't guarantee it's going to blow up. And no disrespect, but this is why I need you to get your motives have to be pure. This is why. Because what happens is for each motive, it's a different level of energy. And some of you have like big dreams, but your energy is like a AAA battery. Your battery got to be able to push that dream. If you got a big old dream, but you got a small engine, you're not going to be able to push it. If dreams were easy, everybody would make them happen. The problem is that most people, I watch most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. I'm walking through the airport running almost. Most people that I'm with, they don't got the energy to keep up with me. I'm like, boo, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just ain't got the stamina. You just ain't got the energy. You can't smart everything. You can't outthink everything. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. It's just some stuff that you gotta have stamina for. You just too slow. It just take you too long. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it can take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you're gonna forever be average because to be great, you got to keep up. Today might not be the day, but soon it will be my day, and I will recycle my pain. So what do you mean, E.T.? You recycle some pain? I turn homelessness into a book. I turned my father not being in my life to a book. I turned an estranged relationship with my mom into a book. I turned being homeless into a book. I turned being a high school dropout into a bestseller. And not only do they sell it in America, they sell it across the world. What will you do with your pain? Will you let it break you or will you let it redefine you? My son, my daughter, they drive me. What drives you? And this is why I'm telling you. Because if a house drive you, you sweet. You gonna get one. Then what you gonna do when you finish? It's what she said. She blew this business up, and now she don't want to do it no more. You know how hard it is to blow a business up? You know how many people wish they could do what she's doing? But yet she finished with it. Why? Because that thing was not strong enough to drive her. The Nobel Prize, that'd take me forever. I picked something that would drive me for the rest of my life. You doing it because somebody else told you to do it. You want to drive a Rolls Royce because everybody else drives it. You want to live in that house because everybody else living in that house. Like you got affirmation problems. You're not doing it because you really want to do it. You're doing it because you want to be affirmed. Let me tell you something. That's a great place to start. But when you get to your root, it's a whole other level. Take all your energy for the dream because you're going to need it. And so the second thing I can teach you is for every dream you have, take at least a week or 30 days and write down every single thing that it's going to take to make it happen. And I want you to know something. After you write everything down, you still have not written everything down because you don't know what's going to happen. And so life normally breaks you because when it hits you, you wasn't ready. But if you ready, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. If you stay ready and you stay plugged up, when you hear bad news, it don't break you because you already energized. You have to eat the dream. You have to sleep the dream. You have to dream the dream. You got to touch. You have to see it when nobody else sees it.
And so my job was to clean these 7 floors between Friday and Sunday. So every time I would go to the seventh floor was the CEO's office. So I would bust in like I was the CEO. I'm dreaming like I'm the CEO now. And who would have ever thought? I've been blessed. And here I am the CEO of my own company.
Well, I think that the number one thing is you have to have a very clear vision, a very clear goal of where you want to go. Because only then you will get there. You can have the best airplane or the best ship in the world, but if the captain doesn't know where to go, he will just drift around. If the pilot does not know where to go, he will just drift around with his plane. So I think the key thing is that we know where we're going and that you're very passionate about that, that you see it always in front of you, the goal.
To thrive in whatever you do, please understand your terrain. Know what your target is. Don't guess it. Be as clued up as the next man, because that's your petrol. That's your fuel to get you moving. If you don't know where you're going, what your targets are, you're never going to get there. Period.
The other thing that's important is that you got to shoot for the top. You got to go and really have big goals and think big, because then you're going to get big. Then you're going to go and achieve big things. That is the most important thing. We don't achieve big things by accident.
I have to tell each and every one of you that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, your age, you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. And I always say, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
If you think that you're going to go and accomplish something really special and be the best in anything in the world, and you think you can do it without working, you make a big mistake. Because no matter what I did, if it was in bodybuilding or in acting or if it is in the political arena, it always took a lot of work. And you got to put out, and you got to, sometimes make a lot of sacrifices. Notice, if you're not willing to work hard, forget about it.
I truly believe we are all equal as human beings. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed. And that is a philosophy that I carry, my coaches carry. And to see LeBron James, who's like a mega superstar over here and a phenomenal athlete, share that belief is inspiring right back to me. It shows that we are thinking correct. This is hard work. This is an obsession. Nothing can beat hard work.
This here is the reality? Do you mean that the competition is not the reality?
Listen, the work is behind the scenes. Competition is the easy part. Behind the scenes is where the work is done. Everything is done to get to that one race that you need to run.
I always question myself in the best of times, even when I was world number one for many weeks and months in a row. At certain times during the year, I said, what can I improve? What do I need to change? Because if you don't do anything or you just do the same thing over and over again, you stay the same. And staying the same means going backwards because the other guys are working hard and improving. So I always needed to find ways to improve my game as well.
Very often watch a lot of young people sort of meander around without any idea about why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, to want and to be ambitious and to want to be successful is not enough.
Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Ted Turner. Success leaves clues, kids. I just named 5 of the greatest names in business in the last 150 years. And they all have one thing in common. They're ball busters. They're hard as nails. Where does that leave you? I still work 50, 60 hours a week. And I haven't had to work in 35 years. You're not willing to do anything. You're not willing to sacrifice anything to be a high-performance person.
I don't want to be like that.
No, most people don't.
I want to be liked.
Yeah, well, see, you want to fit in. I'm the only speaker that you're ever going to hear that really, with all his heart, doesn't give a shit. If I leave here you liking me, I did something wrong.
If we would like to improve the quality of our lives, personally and professionally, what would be your advice? What can we do? What is most important?
Well, the most important thing is self-esteem. The people that we read about, the people that we admire, the Elon Musks, the Steve Jobs, the Warren Buffetts, etc., all have one thing in common. They have extremely high self-esteem. Of course, you've heard me say this before, self-esteem is built the first 7 or 8 years of life. And unfortunately, we're with our parents the first 7 or 8 years of life. Ergo, we don't have too much high self-esteem. But to build high self-esteem, and the way you build high self-esteem, if you're 25, 35, or 45, is to be around, surround yourself with other people that have high self-esteem. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And so you can reverse your childhood by who you associate with.
How do you do that?
Well, you find people that are where you want to be, but they're already there. You're 22 years old, you're 32, you're 41 years old, and there's a guy or a gal who's 45 years old who is where you want to be. They've accomplished a lot of things. If you're into, they're saving the world, they're using their money for good causes, go associate with those people. Be around those people. And they're easy to find, but they're not going to knock on your door. They're not going to come to your apartment or your flat and ask you, oh, can I help you? And the best tool I've ever seen, it's like it was designed for this, is LinkedIn. It's the best social media tool for what we're discussing. And you can find these people. Now, just remember, everybody that's on LinkedIn, all the, 20 million or whatever people that are on LinkedIn are all there for one reason. They're there because they want to do business, they want to meet people. Unlike some of the other social medias like Facebook or Twitter. But I mean, LinkedIn, they're there for a common purpose. They have a common bond. They have a common goal. They want to expand their horizons. And it's a great tool. I had self-esteem. I didn't know till I got grown up and was an adult that everybody didn't have self-esteem. I didn't understand that. I didn't realize that everybody didn't have self-confidence. I didn't realize that everybody didn't have self-worth. Gallup did a poll in 2016, worldwide, 87.6% of all the people on the planet. We'll just round it off. 87% of everybody that walks the face of the earth, 7.65 billion people, are unhappy.